Tell me about your school. Tell me what you do with the kids. We're talking with Larry, the amigo, Million. You can hear him at 7 to 11 a.m. Eastern on channel 145 right here on Sirius XM. Tell me about this school.
What a dynamic and amazing situation that's going on in Little Havana in Miami right now. We are making radio history on a daily basis. It's the first time in the history of American radio, and I believe radio in general, where a high school has had a national platform run by them 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So
how did that happen?
It happened, as you know, Pitbull has Channel 13 here in Globalization. Pitbull is our brand ambassador for 11 schools. Slam has 11 schools around the country. Places like Nevada, Texas, obviously in Florida are our mainstays. And the idea behind our schools is to teach students curriculum in school with a different angle, with a different twist. We call it a slamified lesson. And that slamified lesson bases around sports. So everything we do is not sports because all the kids aren't into sports.
But it's the conduit.
But it's a kind of a conduit because if it's not sports, it's entertainment, and we use it as that platform for them to take off from there. And what ends up happening at Slam is the people that walk through the halls at Slam, not typical of the people who walk through normal high schools. So for example, we were talking about Will Smith being here and causing chaos. I'll be with Will Saturday and Sunday. He's doing an event at Slam Miami. So he saw me today. He's going to see me in 2 days in Miami.
What?
Yeah, we're doing a huge pep rally over there, kind of a kickoff event for his movie, which he filmed down the street from our school and used our students as extras.
Now, these are charter schools.
Charter schools, that is correct.
And
they're public charters, by the way.
Public charters, which is a special distinction, and I think it's important. And I said, any way we can educate kids, any way we can get kids to want to read, want to write, want to explore their passions, want to understand history. However, we need to do that. I think our education system right now is so flawed because we don't excite and ignite those flames in children. We give them rote memorization that they then have to be tested for. What's the curriculum like at Slam, and how did you get involved with it?
So Slam, I get involved. I was a local radio host in South Florida doing sports. And ironically, I love the fact that you played a little Pitbull for me on the rejoin because I was a very, very well-known radio host of a show, the first Spanglish radio sports show in the country. It was called the Dos Amigos Show. That's where I got my name. Myself and my old partner, Alan Strauss, we did a late-night weekday radio show, and we were zany, we were crazy, we were off the wall. And I was the guy that if you called in my show and I like LeBron and you like Jordan, I was going to fight you. But when we came back from break, the producers knew to play a Pitbull song to get me inspired. Okay. And it would. And what ended up happening is Pitbull would hear our show and he started calling in. We spent the better part of a year, random calls. And
he would just call up like Pitbull from Miami.
Yes.
On line 3.
Just like that. He was not worldwide back then, you know. And he did that for almost a year with us. And then I really never heard from him again. You know, I would shoot him a shot, but I didn't know if he heard from me or not. Comes several years later, I'm approached by the president of Slam Foundation that they had been granted a radio station on Sirius. And I said, oh, well, congratulations. He goes, no, you don't get it. I need you to run this station.
Whoa.
And I looked at him. I said, well, I'm a radio host and I know radio. Why would you select me? And, well, I was a big fan of yours and I know other people know. And I know Pitbull used to go on your show. And I said, Pitt would never remember me. And sure as heck, Pitt remembered me and told him, you need to hire him. And that's how I got involved. He thought I was the best person for the job. And I think the reason why he felt that way is because I had a record prior to this of mentoring people in the business. So the truth of the matter is I won a radio contest to win a radio show. I had worked at the Miami Herald for years, part-time. Stringer, I did it because of the love of being a member of the media. I won this contest. I wasn't supposed to win. Everybody was looking at me, you know, this guy's a hack. You know, he's the American Idol winner, so to speak. But what I did was I made this a career move. So I wanted to learn everything about the business, and I did.
What did you do before this?
I owned my own company for 12 years.
Doing what?
Running the largest adult flag football league in the country. I'm in the National Flag Football Hall of Fame. Has nothing to do with radio. Yes, I am.
That's so cool.
Yes, I won 2 national championships as a player, and my teams won 26 national championships in my 10 years of tenure. Actually, it was 10 years.
Find out, Larry. I couldn't do it. All right, flag football.
Yeah, 4-man. I was actually pretty good. Not too bad.
Smart.
The other guys were much better than me, but, you know, again,
but you parlayed that into a business and then created a league.
And what I did is I created an environment of unity is what I did. I don't want to sound corny, but I really did. And I made everybody understand you don't have to fight after a game. You have to shake hands and love each other, because when we go to other cities and other states to represent South Florida, you guys all have to be united. And what's ended up happening is there's one national championship tournament we had never won, and we won it during my tenure in flag football. 20 years later, we've only lost that championship since once. We've won 19 of 20 national
Wow.
championships.
So you
And
have
it
a
was something
legacy.
that I was able to build from the ground up and I was very proud of. So that's what I did. I have both factions. I can sell, I can be on the radio, and I think that's how I learned the business from the inside out.
So how long have you been with the Slam Foundation?
So I've been with them since 2016.
Okay.
I worked pro bono for a little bit over a year, and then I got hired on to teach, and I've been with the school now almost 3 years.
Give me a success story. Tell me about a kid that
Our salutatorian last year was a young lady who was nonverbal. Fabiola.
because you are pooling from the kids that are in the
Yes.
area.
And,
This is not-
and it's not even like I get to go out in South Florida and recruit kids.
right.
These are the kids that happen to come to this school because that area is a bit tough. And the local high schools, public high schools in that area, difficult. And parents choose this as another option because we have a different environment. It's a little stricter, but at the same time, we develop, what I say is a certain curriculum that is more conducive to a kid that, that might be interested in certain things, sports, marketing, because that's some of our academies, as well as broadcasting and other things. The bottom line is our kids, we really have to nurture them. Many of them come from single parent homes. 98% of them are on free or reduced lunch. I am a teacher. I am a general manager. I'm a radio host. I'm a program director, and I'm a mentor. And at times I'm their dad. And it is the most fulfilling thing I have ever done in my life. But it's not about me. It's about them learning how to speak, how to relay their passion or their feelings. With Fabiola, she was our salutatorian, nonverbal, took my class. I almost didn't feel like she had gotten the most out of it. And then she did her salutatorian speech at graduation in June. And I was weeping like a child.
I think education is one of the most important things that we have to fix in this country. I think it has led us down the road of bad choices with, political leadership. I'm putting air quotes around that because our education system, we don't teach civics the way we used to. The kind of history we teach is faulty.
Nobody knows geography anymore either.
We're not critically thinking.
Nope.
We don't teach them how to critically think. Now, you teach what?
So I teach radio, and it's called digital audio production, is what the actual legal official name of the class is. And we have level 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the 4 years of high school. But I'm teaching radio. But I also tell my students that I'm teaching them about life. I'm teaching them about not being afraid of their own shadow, about speaking, because you may not be a radio host, but you may have a job where you need to speak up in a meeting and talk about what you did last week because you have a weekly meeting. If you're afraid of your own shadow, you're not going to work in that meeting. You're going to lose your job. Life, the second phase of your life, which is after you graduate from high school and fairy tale land is over and you're in the real world like everybody tells you, the real world isn't so hard as you think as long as you're prepared for it. So whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's you're going to be someone who works in a retail store, someone who's going to go to college, someone who's going to go and get their 4-year degree and then go get a master's, someone's going to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever you aspire to do it, own it, and do it right. But if you're going to be a garbage collector, which is nothing wrong with it, do it right, own it, make it yours. And I teach them that.
All right, so
That's a
opening
lesson of
day,
life.
because I teach radio at Hunter College.
Uh-oh.
No. What are you uh-ohing?
Because
Oh,
that means you're an
do-
expert and I can learn from you.
No, I do the same things. She's one of my students right there. Yep.
Look at
formerly,
that.
Yeah. So, it's the same thing because anything that you teach is life, right? And teaching kids even reading and writing, it's really to me about thinking and relating, and everything that you do to get someplace, you have to go through somebody. And we don't teach people how to navigate people because they're all in that social media. Nobody's talking. They're doing everything virtually. And so this is an important thing. So what's one of the first things you do?
I tell them that the microphone doesn't bite. So
That's a lie.
well,
No, I'm just
it
playing.
really
No, I'm just- no, I'm
doesn't bite.
joking, I'm
What they're empowered to do in my class is they create pre-recorded content, evergreen content that plays on our radio station. So we have 12 booths set up in our studio that are self-contained booths with laptops, Adobe Audition. They can record, they can do a 30-minute show, they can do a podcast, and they know how to edit because they learn how to edit on
So
Adobe.
you teach them how to edit in this
We
class?
teach them how to edit.
Is that the first, second, or third year?
We really try to get everything because we're in our inception. We need as many people to be as multi-talented as
Gotcha.
possible. Eventually, it will be more of a process, but we had a bunch of kids that knew nothing about radio in the first year of our station. We had to make it sound good. So that had the biggest challenge in the last 365 days.
Gotcha.
Now some of those kids are fantastic. I incorporate them in my morning show. I make them do pre-recorded content. I make them do other video clips. There's little things that I empower each and every one of them. I look and find their power, their strengths, their PowerPoints, the things that they do best that they're not afraid of.
How many kids are we talking about?
This year I have a little over 100. Last year I had 115.
You had 100? You taught 100 kids in what?
Well, not in one class.
I know.
Separate over classes, but yeah.
Okay.
This year it started out at like 102. I'm right now about 97 is where I'm at.
So when are they learning the other subjects? So is your class an elective or everyone's mandatory?
It's an elective.
Okay,
and it's
so
one
what
of the
other
periods.
choices do they have besides radio?
Well, I'll give you an example. So we have students, and many of our students in radio take advanced placement classes, dual enrollment classes, social studies, as well as language arts. And so you have your typical school curriculums. But what SLAM does a little outside the box is how they teach those curriculums and the exposure you get in a school like SLAM, because Pitt is one of our ambassadors.
I saw Magic Johnson showed up.
Magic showed up a couple years ago.
You said Will Smith is going to be there next week. So these kids are not expecting to get this is more than an education. All right. So only people in Miami get to benefit from SLAM and SLAM everywhere?
There's, like I said, there's 11 SLAMs around the country. SLAM Radio, while it's based in Miami and our studios in Miami, we have, for example, SLAM in Boca Raton, Florida, which they have their own self-contained studio, and their students are learning radio, creating evergreen content, and we are playing it on our station. Our goal is within the next couple of years, all 11 SLAMs to be their own little bureaus, if you will, and giving us content into SLAM Miami.
If I wanted to do a SLAM in New Jersey, how could I do that? Or New York?
We can talk about it, whatever you want.
That.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I report to the people who make those decisions, so by all means. Yeah,
no, I mean, it's a charter school, so it's a charter. So we could just, like this.
Yeah, and the beauty of what we do, and I would love for you to learn more. In fact, I'd like to invite you to come visit us in Miami if you're ever in town. Not my studio.
February.
Yes, a good time of year to go. It's nice and warm back home.
Yes.
Shout out to, by the way, to our folks at SLAM Miami. All of us together are a family, and what we're doing, we're making history, and thank you for supporting what we do on SLAM Radio.
Listen,
had to do that, sorry.
No, don't apologize. This show is not about radio. It's totally not about radio. So, which makes it unique in a lot because I'm not just talking about the topics of the day and what do you think? Call in, blah, blah, blah. Even though I did the Meghan Markle thing, I was curious and I got my itch scratched. Thank y'all for calling, especially the first time callers. But, this is a mission, and if you're going to have a microphone and you're going to be talking to people, you should want to change lives for the better. You should want to give people tools to be able to build the kind of lives they want to live. And so this is important, and education is foundational.
It is.
And that we don't have an education system federally that is preparing our students, is not preparing our students to actually navigate this thing called life.
So you agree that there should be federal guidelines to our schools?
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, we're talking about the future of the country. Damn it, we got to do better.
We do.
So I like this. And I'm constantly thinking about ways that we can empower the people out there listening who might want to do a charter. Where do they go? How do they get in contact with you guys?
Feel free. I'm on social media. I will direct you to the right people, but I'm on Twitter @The Amigo. I'm on
The
Instagram.
Amigo, which means the friend.
The friend. I'm everybody's friend. And on Instagram, you can catch me at Larry the Amigo.
Larry the Amigo. Okay.